the DNVR Broncos podcast. That means we've got the number one cornerback in the NFL joining us right now. Pat, what is going on?
What's going on, man? Another week, another show.
Man, another week, another win, 5 in a row. Pat, what's it feel like to have a winning record and turn the season completely around to be on the playoff picture right now?
Yeah, man. I mean, it feels because just hitting rock bottom, early on in the season, getting to the stage, man, it's pretty impressive for us, and it shows our will, in our consistency week in and week out. So, I'm very proud of the guys, man. But we just got to keep it rolling, keep on moving forward.
At what point in the season was it like, oh shit, we can turn this season around? Because I mean, you mentioned 1-5. That is rock bottom for any team, and that now to be 6-5 is insane. At what point was it like, wow, we can do this?
I just felt like the energy throughout the locker room and the building was at an all-time high. You just feel the confidence rising from the coaches towards the players. And once you build the energy around, we just play better and just ups our play. And each and every week, we just went out there with the same mindset of winning the ball game, no matter how it's done. Because we've had some close ball games, but we just managed to pull it through, and just kept on fighting towards the end. And we just kept on getting better and better, and just kept dominating. This past week, I felt like we put it all together as a team. And looking back at that game, there wasn't one part where I was antsy or nervous at all throughout the game, because I felt like, with the team, our composure and our positive energy, we was going to come out and win the ball game. So kudos to, our team and our coaches all together, man, because, we playing good brand of football right now for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, the 7-3 Browns come into town, and you beat them by 17 points. The offense almost drops 30. The defense gets a safety, puts points on the board as well, and you guys hold them to 12 points. And one of the things that Sean mentioned after the game, and we've talked on the show about how Sean after games can be focusing more on the negatives than the positives, but this time he was like, we just beat a really good team. And I think that we've kind of lost sight of how good the Browns are. Like 7-3, great defense, good offense. And I think we kind of lost sight of that because of just how you guys handled them on every side of the ball.
Yeah, going in towards a week, Sean mentioned how much of a dogfight it was going to be. It was funny because during the week, he called it a back game. And before, it's every Saturday we have a meeting, and he describes why is it a back game. And so he gave us each player each of our own bats, and it was just showing like how physical and how much of a game it is, and how important it is for us to win this game. And going in towards the week, we knew what type of team they have. Obviously, their defense is very great. Their offense like to run and pound, but we knew the test we had, and we stood up towards the challenge. And to win that game, it was like the ultimate win, because just going throughout these past wins, I feel like this one was like the icing on the cake for sure on this win streak. We just got to keep it rolling.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Pat, you brought up the physicality. That's something I definitely see throughout the entire team. I mean, linebackers, outside linebackers are hitting people. The O-lineman is definitely moving the pile and pushing people out the way. Do you guys feel like you're playing dominant and physical right now? Because it's definitely apparent on film.
Yeah, you can just tell how dominant and how physical we've been playing just by our work ethic and the way how we fly towards the ball, and forcing teams to really like be one-dimensional by stopping the run first and forcing them to pass, because we knew the Browns was a run-first team, but when we dominate up front and dominate with the front seven, man, it could be haunting for opposing offenses. And once we were able to establish that, that's when we made them one-dimensional and forced them out to play behind. And, that's what we like, and that's what creates turnovers for us. But, the number one denominator towards the game was to be physical and out-physical our opponents. So we definitely did that this past Sunday, and we just got to keep it going.
Yeah, as PJ said after the game, you guys won that fight, the physicality fight, and that was just apparent from the start to the very end, ending it with that safety. And when I think of physical defenses, I think of great defenses, and certainly you guys are playing that way right now. Played it against the Browns, who are a physical team, and it reminds me of the 2015 defense, Todd, that you were a part of. Just physical, intimidating. Teams don't want to play this defense, and when you play that physical, and then you get some people that are calling the defense dirty because of it. Some people on the internet. How would you respond? Because we responded, and Henry and I want Todd's take as well, but I don't think any of the hits, even the ones that were flagged, Baron Browning, P.J. Locke, I don't think those were dirty. I think you can even argue if they should have been flagged or not. I think that's just physical, intimidating, bully ball. Todd, I mean, do you see the same thing?
I agree, man. This league is getting soft. And I feel kind of like some of the fans are getting soft with it. Like, are we not watching football? Is this badminton or swimming? Like, what are we doing here? Like, we're supposed to be coming here to hit. That's why we have pads on. That's why we have helmets on. As long as it's not, targeting, I think we need to let these boys play. You know what I'm saying? And there's a different element to just winning a game than it is getting beat physically. Like, you don't want to play the team that's going to push you around every play. If the ball's in your hands, you're going to get smacked. Like, it's a different level that those type of teams bring to the matchup, and I think that's where the Broncos are right now. And I don't think they should be penalized, or I feel like they're getting a little flag happy with the Broncos, and I don't like it because they're here to play defense. They're playing hard. It's football, man. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, when you play hard and you play physical, man, that's like our style of play, and that's what we're accustomed to, playing physical football from the first snap to the final snap. I mean, and the penalty on Barron was like, what are we doing? Because obviously he's making physical play. You want to put pressure on the quarterback, hit him some, adjust his chin strap a little bit. I mean, obviously he felt the hit, but I thought it was a clean hit. But we were just playing our style of play, and that's being physical and playing our style of ball, and that's just dominating the opposing offense. But yeah, the flag, I think it was complete bull. On my end. But obviously, fans around the league like to see offense and like to see the change of the game. But I know the game evolved towards less contact. But when you're playing physical football and you're playing safe football in that manner, I don't think that call should have been made. But it is what it is.
How do players on defense and coaches on defense, or coaches of the team, for you guys, Pat, and for that 2015 team, Todd, how do they react when there is a flag thrown, when it was just for a hard hit? Is that something where the coaches do say, okay, we got to adjust to it? Or is that, do coaches just kind of say, all right, some flags are okay if it's, going to be that intimidating? Because I'm sure Houston sees that on tape. I'm sure the Lions coming up will see that on tape. So how do teams adjust to things like that?
If it is flagrant, then they'll say something about it. But most of the time, if you're in the meeting room and the team knows and everybody knows it wasn't a dirty hit, coach will be like, this is BS. It's a BS call. We're going to move on because, the call is made and we just got to keep playing. But they know when it's BS. They don't give you a hard time if they know that it's a bad call. How does Sean react to those hits? Because I think that, he loves physicality, so I wouldn't think that he would harp on you guys. But what's his response?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there should be any judgment or any question about an actual football play.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, if it's flagrant or it's like, out of sort in a way, but, Vance, he just basically said, man, that's a football play. We just move on from it, you know what I mean? Because, we just can't leave it up to the refs to make the right call, obviously, because obviously they're going to see it differently from their discretion. But, we just kept on playing our ball game, and just kept on playing our style of play, and that's dominated all 4 quarters, and that's what we did. I mean, there's a point in the game where they had to earn every yard they had to get, which was very impressive. And usually the Browns be out physicaling their opponents, but we was a team that did that this past Sunday. So I just think on both sides of the ball, that's what we did, and it was a very impressive win.
Yeah, I mean, PJ, he's made some big plays before. I think he had the forced fumble against the 49ers last year to win that game. He had the pick. Did that start the win streak? That might have started the win streak.
Yeah, against the Packers at the end of the game.
But I don't think I've seen him hit like he did in this game. Were you surprised that he was out there doing that, or have you seen that? Because obviously he can't do it in practice.
No, I mean I knew what type of player PJ was. You just see it every day. Obviously, you can't hit in practice, but when he runs to the ball, when he prepares himself to make those type of hits in practice. So when the game came, and I just knew, like, it was like, because I seen him like a flash flew by, and when he made that hit, man, I was like, yep, I seen it coming. That's why I wasn't worried, because like when he was gonna make the catch, it was either he was gonna catch it or it was gonna be a blow, and that's what he did on both contested catches. And you know, PJ, he's just known for flying around and making plays on the ball, and that's what he's been doing so far.
He really looked like Kareem out there.
Yeah.
Like he does play in a very similar way, like that downhill, wants to hit people, like maybe not like the longest, lankiest guy who's going to cover the most ground like Justin, but that was a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, he was balling. I knew he was going to have a good game because I feel like he made 2 tackles in the first drive or 2 big plays. For myself, if I make 2 tackles in the first drive, it's over. Like, can't nobody stop me, can't nobody block me.
You know, you get some butterflies before the game, but once you get those first couple of hits in, you know, you good.
Yeah, you rocking.
So
that's like getting 2 PBUs in the first drive. You like, man, I'm locked down today. Can't nobody touch me.
And that's just what this defense is playing like. I mean, all the confidence in the world. It's rolling over game to game. And speaking of Kareem, Pat, you and a lot of guys were wearing free KJack T-shirts before the game. Can you take us through whose idea was that, and what the process was of those?
Yeah, it was actually PJ's idea. You know, he texted us in the group chat, you know, shirt sizes, and obviously I know what it was for. Then obviously I realized what was in our locker, and it said free KJack, and it was basically sending a message towards the league, like, man, even though y'all trying to hold him out, we gonna ring his name in the air, however way we can, and it was just to show support, because obviously Kareem, he's missing the game. He loves the game so much, but just to wear the shirts, just felt like his presence was out there. You know what I mean? So we were just representing him every way we can, and you know, before the game, it was just a message towards the NFL, like, free my dog, man. He ain't doing nothing wrong. He's just playing football. That's it.
Yeah, that was my favorite part. Is it's right underneath, I think, where it says free KJack. It says serving 4 games for playing football. it's so good.
That's it. He's just playing football, man.
And then, I mean, you guys went out and played like KJack does,
really,
in terms of just intense, physical, and I mean, the shirts before the game were awesome. Your jacket after the game was as sharp as can be. Your shirt right now, Pat, you're becoming like you're having the best closet in the NFL, man.
Oh yeah, that was like one of them statement type fits. Like, we're ready for business, but it's basically like a Givenchy jacket. But I've been having the closet. It's just been sitting in the inventory for long.
That was in the back of the closet. You just decided to pull it out.
You know what I mean? I've been had it.
Yeah.
I just didn't know it was a perfect time to wear it. I just feel like that day I was feeling myself. I was like, okay, I got to come out stepping for sure.
That was a good one. You gotta. I told you before the show, but my girlfriend really wants that jacket. So you gotta send me a link or something. It could be a Christmas present.
You don't want that link, my guy.
No.
Yeah.
You don't even want that link.
Well, then he's gonna look for a knockoff.
Yeah. I'll send you an Etsy link. You might be able to find it.
It is pretty pricey. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, Pat, every time you come on, someone's trying to take some of your clothes. Ryan was asking for the jacket you wore in Tuscaloosa. Henry's trying to get this one. Heck, I'll just take that TD shirt that you're wearing right now, too.
There it is.
Okay, oh, sorry, Pat, what were you going to say?
No, I'm saying you could have it.
Yeah, oh, wow. Man, you're too kind. You're too kind.
We might need to order some of those free KJack shirts too. Those are good ones. Yeah.
I mean, are those things you can order, or were those? I think those were special.
PJ knows how.
I think PJ just launched a website for it. So you can go order them. online.
Okay.
For sure, yeah.
So we could.
Yeah, we could.
I think y'all should ask him. Whenever y'all get the chance to, because
Yeah.
before it was like, okay, this is for players, and we was like, you know what, let's make it to the public, towards the players, so everybody could wear it and support them. So.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I know Broncos fans would love to be rocking that, especially
Yeah.
over the next 3 games.
Maybe we do a little giveaway on the show.
But if you put the shirt on, it gotta be a different type of energy for
Oh,
that.
that's true. That's true.
You gotta be ready to go.
You got to be like a dog, like
Yeah.
KJack is.
Let somebody give you the wrong coffee order. You gotta go off.
And speaking of dope shirts, you got to check out the DNVR locker. Well, we've got Pat Surtain shirt in stock on the website. Go check it out. Hopefully you got some on the Cyber Monday and the Black Friday deals, but go check out the DNVR locker, and also go check out our friends over at Bet365, where they have never ordinary bets. That's their slogan. And if you use the code DNVR365 at sign up, they're going to give you a first bet safety net of $1,000 in bonus bets, or bet $5 and receive $150 in bonus bets when you sign up using that code DNVR365. So probably a good bet is taking the Texans under in points this week, because we know this defense is just flying around playing elite ball right now. So check them out over at Bet365. Use that code DNVR365. And you must be 21 and older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, once help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
And shout out to our friends over at Baxter & Shanker. Baxter & Shanker is there to help when you've been hurt or seriously injured, and they help with all kind of injury cases where you weren't at fault: car accidents, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrian, trucks, whatever it is. Give our friends over at Baxter & Shanker a call. They've been helping those who have been seriously injured in Colorado for more than 25 years, and the great thing about them is there's no fee until they win money for your case, and they've won over $1 billion for their clients. They are now serving all parts of Colorado, including neighborhood offices in Denver, Aurora, Inglewood, and Fort Collins. Smash the 222-2222. Call our friends and set up a consultation.
All right, so Pat, I imagine since you guys balled out against the Browns that you were able to find the Del Frisco's week, even though it was Thanksgiving last week. Did you guys make it down there?
Yeah, we made it happen on a Wednesday,
Yeah.
prior towards Thanksgiving. So, yeah, we still had to have those dinners every week, man. I think because our team is very superstitious, and if we miss a day of those dinners, man, something may go wrong. So we just gotta find a way to squeeze it in, no matter what the week may look like. So.
Yeah, I think it was Justin Stroud who I heard saying, I think he could have taken the week off from having his card in the pot because he'd just gotten pulled, but he figured it was going to be kind of like a lighter tab because it's like the day before Thanksgiving, people aren't going to be eating so much. So he's like, put mine back in case I get drawn again, so I don't have to do it after. But who actually did have to pay for that one? Do you remember?
Surprised, it was me actually.
Oh, really?
I paid for it. It was me and who was it? Me and a few other guys, but yeah, I was the one that got empty-handed at the end.
Well, I hope Justin was right.
Out of my pocket, so.
Now this week, you guys will go to Del Frisco's and preparing for the Texans, who, I mean, they've got a rookie quarterback, but he is not playing like a rookie quarterback. I know you guys haven't fully looked at Houston yet, but when you see a rookie playing this well, I mean, does he even look like a rookie to you, Pat?
No, he don't. It's actually crazy because when I see him out there playing, it's like this is his like 5th, 6th year in the league, man. He's seen it all. I just see so much composure from him, and his ability to, never waver no matter the circumstance. Like even if they're down, even if bad things happen, he always stay laser focused and dialed in. And when you see that from a young quarterback like that, it speaks volumes on the way how he plays. So. Definitely looking towards a week. We ain't gonna treat him like a rookie quarterback because he's been playing like a veteran back there. So we definitely got a task at hand.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like you guys will definitely step into the challenge. I feel like that's one thing you guys have learned throughout this year is how to finish and close out games. Because in last year or the year before, if we were down 7 points, I kind of felt like the game was over. And I feel like not anymore, man. I feel like you guys will definitely, battle them all the way to the end. I know that rush and coverage work together, and that's what makes you guys so good. How do you feel like your front seven is going to do against this Houston Texans O-line?
Yeah, man. Our front seven is greedy. They just get things done. You know what I mean? It might not be like the prettiest highlight tape, but, they get things done, and that's what's very important. I mean, Zach, DJ Jones, Mike Purcell, you got Barron and Coop off the edge, Nick Bonito. Those guys are really just causing havoc on, opposing offensive linemen. And once you have that and how rush and coverage mesh together, if we do our job in the back end, their job becomes easier. And if they do their job in the front end, our job becomes easier. So it goes hand in hand. And these past couple of games, you can see rush and coverage really, really excel at a premium on our defense. So we just got to keep on doing that. And, with our level of playing consistency, I don't see it slowing down at all.
We saw P.J. get in that rush part, get a little strip sack this past week. Are you ever like, you see that and you're like, damn, I'm so happy for P.J., but Vance, send me from the outside occasionally.
But you know what's crazy? That play was really designed for me to go. But what happened was, certain formation, certain personnel, whatever, how they lined up, I could give him the go to blitz. You know what I mean? It's just communication like that. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let my dog get the sack because I know he's gonna get it. And for him to get a strip sack at a pivotal point in the game like that, it's pretty awesome to see for sure.
Damn, so PJ owes you like he needs to like hit the quarterback next time and have the ball go in the air so you can pick it off or something.
Yeah, I know, man. I was happy, but I was like, man, that's supposed to be my boots, man. You just took my shine like that, but it's all good.
And now, you speak of the Texans offensive line. The Texans also have some really good young receivers, Nico Collins, and then Tank Dell, who's really taken the league by storm, and he just, I think, officially changed his name to Tank.
Yeah. I think he officially changed his name with the league.
With the league,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So everything with the league, he now is officially showing up Tank. Pat, you ever want to do that? Be like, instead of Pat, I'm gonna actually go by like Shutdown Surtain or something like that.
Just go by like PS2. Make that like your official name. Yeah, like Ocho Cinco sort of.
Has there ever been any desire?
Nah, I haven't thought about it like that for sure. Maybe my middle name, which is Frank, but I don't know. So I don't know.
Frank
FS2
this week. Yeah, FS2.
yeah, FS2.
Isn't that like a TV show? Or
FS1 is.
Yeah, FS1.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
sure.
PS2 is way better. PS2 is way
Yeah,
better.
there's no reason to change that.
I think I'm gonna stick with that.
Yeah. What stands out about these receivers? Obviously, like you've got speed across the board is probably the biggest thing. Is that what you see?
I just see a variety of things. I just think each receiver got their own type of skill set. Like Nico Collins, he's a bigger prototype receiver. He attacks the ball well, the 50-50 balls. Obviously, Tank, he's shifty. Craftsman, a great route runner. You got Mechie on the other hand, in which who I played with at Alabama. He's another Craftsman, another great route runner as well too. So I think they possess a different variety of skill sets on their behalf.
I would imagine that since they've got Nico and Mechie there, that you won't be following Tank around, but he's listed at 165 pounds. How unique is that for a player to not just be playing in the NFL, but to be putting up incredible numbers as a rookie at 165 pounds?
I mean, it's crazy, but like everybody say like weight will concern you, but if you could play football, you can play football.
Yeah.
And, I've seen that each and every week from him. I just think he's a football player, and I think he understands the game well as a receiver at a young age, early on in his career. And obviously they got a rhythm going on with him and C.J. So, like I said, it's going to be a challenge, but, we always step up to challenges, that's coming upon us. But the main thing is just understanding what they like to do offensively, and obviously their passing game is what they like to go to so far. So definitely when we look into the film room, we understand what we got at hand and how we'll be able to shut them down.
This game starts a 3-game, I guess, road trip for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get amped for playing on the road? I know everybody feels like, most guys like to play at home, but myself, I really enjoyed the road games. Hopping on the plane, sleeping in a hotel. My kids are at home, so it's quiet. How do you enjoy the road games?
Yeah, because everybody's against you. Everybody see you as an underdog, so which makes it even more compelling because, and like what Todd said, when you're away, man, it's less distractions. You're very locked in. You're in the hotel room, locked in on the iPad, watching film or in meetings. Ain't much you could do because you're outside your boundaries. So I think the main thing is when we go on the road, it's like we're sharp, we're laser focused because we know momentum could swing at any time on away games, and which makes it even more motivated for us to go in and win a ball game away.
To be fair, there is one home game in there when they head out to L.A. Those games against the Chargers, it's always more Broncos fans than Chargers fans out there.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know why. I think LA they all paparazzi and stuff. They all in the scene for real in LA, so they don't watch football like that.
What's the quietest? Both of you, Todd and Pat. What's the quietest away stadium you've been to in terms of a game-changing play happens or the defense? You guys are just killing them, and it just does not feel like a road stadium anymore.
I think they all can be like that if you put on a dominant performance. To me, that was some of the best times is when they come out rocking. They we about to, and then it just gets quiet because it's like you hear a pin drop.
Yep.
You go from not being able to communicate to it's almost like you're out there at a home game. It definitely changes.
Or they start booing their own team.
Yep.
That's got to be nice.
Yeah, that'd be the worst when they boo their own team. That's how you know I got them for sure.
And that really never happens to defenses. I feel like teams only boo their own offenses, which as defensive guys, you're kind of the one forcing that and creating that.
Well, we don't really do nothing to get booed anyway.
Right.
Pat?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Not these defenses.
Not in Denver,
it's everything's solely on the offense nowadays. If the offense is not doing good, that's when the fans feel the type of way. If defense doing bad, it's offense step up.
Exactly.
Or defense, defense do better, but everything is based on the offense now. I feel like.
If you guys go win a game 13-10, everybody's just gonna say, "Oh, that was ugly. That's gross." They need to figure something out. The offense needs to figure things out. But nobody ever says that about the defense.
Yeah, nobody gives us credit, man. But
you win 38-35, everybody's happy.
What'd you say?
If you win 38-35, every's happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was a good game.
That was a good game.
That was a good game.
Not 13-10. That was disgusting.
Man, 29-12, 17-point win. And Pat, you kind of talked about this before, but you mentioned the Browns, very run-first team, and that's just what they want to do. And you mentioned that the Texans like to throw the ball. As a cornerback, I have to imagine that you like the physicality of the Browns and you like being physical, but I have to imagine as a cornerback, you love this game when you know that they're going to throw for 30, 35, 40 times, right?
Yeah, you got to love it because the ball's being thrown and there's many opportunities that present itself. So everybody's, itching for a play to be made this week, So I just think the way how we go about it, the way how we prepare and practice, how we prep, by game time, everything's going to look the same as in practice. So we just got to keep on going, keep on doing our thing. Then once the game comes, plenty of opportunities could be made.
I heard people were talking about what's it called, takeaway Thursdays in practice. Is that a real thing? Is that a big thing that guys get hyped for?
Yeah, we have a takeaway circuit before we get started in practice defensively. Whether it's stripping the ball, whether it's interception, tip drill, certain drills we work on, and the common denominator in all of that is to get the ball, which is something we've been honing in on each and every week. And I believe that takeaway drill is what keeps us going, keeps us gravitating towards getting the ball each and every week.
Pat, you guys have 16 takeaways in this 5-game win streak,
Crazy.
15 in the past 4 games. There's 17 other teams in the NFL that don't have 16 takeaways in the entire season. You guys are just crushing it. I mean, the takeaways are just insane in this stretch.
Yeah, I think that's like the main factor that helps us win ball games. Because even in close games, like the number one stat sheet that jump out is the turnover margin, and we be like +2, +3, and that's what wins or lose ball games. And just keeping up on that track, I believe that we could be a very dominant team. We just keep on pace with that for sure.
No, I haven't seen it, but is there a takeaway chain, a turnover chain? Do you guys have anything like that on the sideline yet?
Surprisingly not. I think you just came up with the idea, man. I think we need to talk to Vance and talk to the, talk around the team into doing something like that, because we've been turning over the ball a lot now, and I think we definitely deserve like a.
Would you do a chain, or maybe you bring one of your coats out of the closet and it's like a takeaway coat?
Yeah, you got to talk to the organization, man. They got a lot of money. Tell them you want a real chain and you want it to be given away after every takeaway.
Every turnover, you get to keep it.
Give us like a Rolex to wear.
Yeah.
It's got to be something Broncos themed. I'm not sure. There's nothing like horse themed. Yeah.
Or just like gold themed.
That is true.
Diamond themed, something
Diamond,
like that. Yeah.
Okay, diamond themed. We can go diamond themed.
I love it. I love it, Pat. We maybe we'll see that on the sideline on Houston, or maybe it'll wait until the following game against the Chargers in LA. Henry, any final keys that Pat needs to know about this game that he needs to be aware of for this?
See, so there's no Montana Grizzlies playing this week, so I can't help you out with any of that stuff. I don't know. I think you might be on your own for this one, but I do have one more question. Hopefully you guys can handle it without me. So Pro Bowl voting just started. Obviously, like, you're going to get a bunch of votes. Justin's going to get a bunch of votes. Is there anybody on the team, maybe like underrated, anybody who you think deserves to be getting more love in the Pro Bowl vote that you want to kind of pump up?
I ain't gonna lie. I think Quinn Miners is highly deserving of a Pro Bowl. I mean, because like there's not a day on film where I don't see him just dominating an opposing defender, and he does it, easily under his own will, and it's just crazy because it's like you just see like a spark in film how he's just making the game easier for the offense, and I just think he is definitely deserving. J-Mac as well too. He's been making plays for us each and every week. Let me see. Marvin Mims, I think he deserves a nod. Garrett Bowles for what he's done this year. Cortland Sutton, all those guys. I think we have like at least 5 to 6 guys that are heavily deserving of the Pro Bowl nod for sure.
Yeah, there should be the biggest jump in the NFL with guys who made it last year on this team to guys that make it this year. And Pat, you are absolutely one of them. Everyone go vote for Pat to make the Pro Bowl. I don't think you really need everyone's help because you absolutely deserve it. You'll be there for another year. But everyone go vote for our guy, Pat, to make it. And you also just made Henry's day by saying Quinn.
That's the right answer. I can't believe he's up to 340 pounds. Like, that's just one of those numbers that, like, I can't even comprehend. 340.
Just think of Tank being 165.
So that's
over double.
More than
double.
2 tanks. Wow.
It's why, and that's what's so
And his
cool
name is
about
Tank.
football. Is you got guys of all sizes being able to play the game at the same time. But Pat, thank you so much for jumping up. What did I say? It just gives me hope, Todd. It gives me hope that maybe one day I could play,
I love it.
Yeah, we'll see about that. We need flag football team.
Yeah, there we go. Flag football. Pat, thank you so much for jumping on with us. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to 6 straight coming up, and everyone go vote for Pat.
Let's go.
Yeah, appreciate y'all, man.
Right on. Thanks, Pat. Oh man, that was awesome. Even though you guys laughed at me at the end there.
Yeah, guys.
It was just a little bit of word play.
There always is. We almost made it through that whole thing
It
without
always
a single
happens
one.
with me.
Well, if you watch on the postgame show, everybody got me. As soon as I said
Oh,
something.
what'd you do? I was just
Nothing.
distracted by the outfit.
It's in the past.
Here, maybe bring that up.
No.
It happens to me.
I know.
It happens to me all the time. Wait, did Pat say at the beginning that they were giving away bats to show the physicality?
Yeah. It was a bat game.
What does that mean?
Just a physical game. Like
Okay,
I think
like baseball bat?
Yeah, everybody got a baseball bat, I guess.
Is that something that you've been a part of before?
Different things. I don't
Okay.
think we ever got baseball bats, but just something that like
Todd got real
let
bats.
you know, let you know that it was like a hard hat. Like you better come to work. I don't know if everybody got a brick one time or something, but just
Like a
something,
construction vest or something?
something like that to
Maybe
let
a
you
little
know
different,
it
yeah.
was time to come to work.
I like that. And I was like, did I mishear him? And then, I did think of like the flying bats. And I'm like, I don't want to ask him for a follow-up. I don't want to ask him for a follow-up here.
Everybody's like Ozzy Osbourne biting the hands off of bats.
What would a Breckenridge beer game be like?
Wow, that's a tough one. I think it's like kind of old school in a lot of ways. Definitely like kind of fun tailgate vibe. Maybe like kind of rivalry type game.
You go to Buffalo?
Drink a couple beers. Buffalo feels like it could be that way.
Or maybe if you're playing a team that turns the ball over a lot and they're just like, they play drunk and loosey-goosey with the ball.
Wow,
Yeah.
that'd be a fun game.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
The Texans, I know the first, 9 weeks of the season, C.J. Stroud only had 2 interceptions. He's starting to throw picks a little bit more, and so that might be a game where you need some Breckenridge beer to enjoy the game. 11 a.m. start, so maybe Broncos Country Pale Ale, one of the lighter beers, Strawberry Sky, you go for that, but whatever it is, go check out our friends over at Breckenridge Brewery to get your fix this weekend. That's breckbrew.com for their beer locator where you can find where their beer is all across the country. So check them out. It's the official beer of DNVR, breckbrew.com.
And also go check out our friends over with our friends.
With our other friends.
Yep.
Just
it's crazy
just
how
lots
like
of friends.
Breckenridge Brewery is just best friends
Every
with
year.
game time. Oh, this is perfect.
I mean, they go together.
They absolutely. So I am going to this CU CSU basketball game tomorrow. CU gonna win the national championship. CSU ranked somehow right now. It's gonna be a really fun
Wait,
one. But
what's CU ranked right
20.
now?
20?
Yeah.
20.
What's CU ranked though?
They were ranked last week, number 18, which is better.
Oh no. What are they ranked right now?
I haven't checked, but last week they were 18.
No. The answer is they're not ranked.
Last week 18
Now,
though.
shout out to CU, but I mean, they're just too much CSU slander on here.
We'll see about that on Thursday. But yeah, so me and RK are headed up there for that one, which is going to be a lot of fun. We're getting some tickets from Game Time because that's a place to go because the game's actually sold out. So this is the only place you can go. So yeah, Game Time's awesome. And if you use the code DNVR, I don't know why this wanted me to say CHGO. We would never do that.
Don't look at
Use the
me.
code DNVR and you'll get $20 off your first purchase, which is awesome. Game Time's awesome. They have like the little buttons so you can just click all in pricing. They'll have their flash deals, which are really cool. And since I have Nugget season tickets, Avs season tickets, obviously like working all the Broncos games, girlfriend has Buffs tickets. I don't get to use Game Time all that often, so I'm really excited to jump back in there and just start hunting these deals. And you can too. Use that code DNVR for $20 off.
Man, this is just an awesome show. We got Pat in the first and the second segment. Now we get the inside scoop
Oh, that's right.
Let's do
to
it.
let us know how the Broncos not just won, but dominated this game. And Todd, why don't you take us into the game and get us the nitty gritty of how this happened?
So I put together some plays here. I didn't do all the, most flashy plays because everybody's seen those. We
Yeah.
kind of have an understanding for those. But these are just a couple plays I feel like really impacted the game. And this is the reason why the Denver Broncos won.
I love it.
So this first one is play to Cortland Sutton. It ends up being a long pass on 3rd and 8. A drive that he already possibly affected with getting the PI penalty. And this ends up leading to a score by Samaje. And it's man-to-man, and it's Cortland Sutton continuing to run these overs. I don't think an over, which is here, has been covered yet against Cortland Sutton. Every time we run it, he's open. They like to run these crossing routes with Jerry Jeudy coming across the field here and Cortland Sutton coming across here. He does a great job of getting open on these plays, and he always finds the soft spot. And I think when he's running away from you, this is a pretty good corner in, not Denzel Ward, but the other guy, what's his name? Yeah, Newsome, and he can't stick with them. I think Portland's too fast. The other thing I wanted to point out here is that this O-line is protecting at such a high rate, man. They're doing such a good job. I think it's partly the O-line, but it's partly Russell Wilson. This O-line is understanding where he wants to be. And what they've kind of figured out is they want to keep him in the pocket. What Russ was doing was he was escaping outside of the tackles, and the tackles were pushing their guys out. So then Russ was running right into him and getting sacks. So now they know that they're just trying to create a wall and push everybody by, and Russ, stay in the pocket. Don't try to leave, because this is where all the bodies are that we're pushing out.
Yeah.
And that's allowing Russ to have so much more time back there, and it's making the O-line look like they're doing a great job, which they were doing a great job, but he was running into their protection and kind of hurting them sometimes. So this ends up being a great play to Cortland. Russ makes the pass still under duress, and this leads to the first touchdown by Samaje. So big time play.
Man, Todd, that's such a good point, because a lot of people, and over the past year and a half, have been saying, well, yeah, Russ leads the NFL in sacks. And a lot of that is on him. And now we're seeing how they're playing together and how that really works together, and how it's not just the offensive line getting better. It's the unit with Russ as one playing as a whole.
Yeah, they're playing much more cohesive.
Well, I saw you pull up this play, and I was like, okay, Todd's going to talk about like the route, all that sort of stuff. I'm going to point out like Russ and his patience like this. And it's like, nope, Todd's got it covered. Todd
I got you, my guy. Don't even worry.
Todd, are you going to talk about the touchdown pass to Adam Troutman?
No.
Because that one's talked about a lot already.
Yes.
And one of the things is the offensive line. I mean, Russ could have just sat down and then stood up again and then had that
That'd
play,
be a fun
because
play.
the protection was exactly. The protection was insane there, and then Russ did a great job of finding the openings too.
Yeah, they're really, really coming together as a unit. And I think it's really, really helping the offense look phenomenal because they really are doing a great job. Here is a 3rd and 6, very important play. And this is man-to-man coverage. And this is, you never know which play is going to impact the game the most. But this is man-to-man coverage. Singleton has a running back. Justin coming up and has the safety in this corner right here. Has the wide receiver man-to-man. This is a tight play, 3rd and 6. And I think this is, who is this right here? Yeah, Fabian comes up and makes a great tackle on 3rd and 6. If this guy, he could have easily gave up on this play and let the guy get the first down, but he used all his momentum to try to stop him. And then what I like is that all the Broncos are coming to help pull this guy back. They know that this is 3rd and 6. He's close to first down. We cannot let him get this first down right here. And I think this is one of the biggest plays of the game, because if we don't stop him right here, we don't know how this drive ends. But if you guys remember in the game, this stop leads to the very next play, which is a fumble by the tight end trying to do a QB sneak to get the first down. And if they don't stop him here, they never run that play. They never fumble the ball, and it's a completely different game.
Todd, tell me if I'm crazy here, but from an outside perspective, it seems like the Broncos' pass to opponents are getting way too cute with these 4th down and 3rd down plays. I mean, how often does a tight end take a snap under center?
Never.
They don't practice it. So are you shocked that it doesn't work and it fumbles?
Not at all.
And then how about the play that the Vikings ran against the Broncos, where a tight end takes a snap and tosses it to a quarterback on a sweep? I mean, if the Broncos had done that, I would be pulling my hair out. Like, what are we doing? If you want to run a sneak, do it with your quarterback who takes thousands of snaps in a season from your center. I'm just so happy that the Broncos are not the ones doing these idiotic plays where you're just trying to get too cute.
And then personally for me, I don't know why they went back to it. Like, the first time they tried to run it, it was a false start, because now the tight end is trying to do a cadence that he doesn't do. So now the O-lineman, okay, that play is scrapped. We're not running that. And they come back to it and fumble the ball. That's what they get.
Well, and the reason they do that stuff, they don't have Quinn Miners, who just sneak behind every time, and it's worked every time.
Yeah.
Did it 2 more times this week.
Yeah. And all credit to Quinn, but like, even if I don't have Quinn Miners, I'm snapping the ball to my quarterback, not to a tight end.
The Broncos are just lucky they have that automatic sneak play because there's only a few teams in the league who can expect it to work every time.
Yeah. The Broncos, I mean, keep running those stupid plays against us, man. We'll take it every time. This is 3rd and 8, I believe, in the second quarter. This is a great pass to your guy, Marvin Mims. And I just wanted to point out Marvin doing a great job of, these pictures don't show it, but Marvin's lined up on this right side right here. He comes in, he kind of sits over the ball, and that's all his route was, but he does a great job of doing the scramble drill. Once Russ starts to scramble and get out of the pocket, Marvin converts his route from like a sit down here and turns upfield. And also, once again, this protection.
Look at that.
Russ had an opportunity to get outside of this pass rusher and decided not to. He stayed inside, which allowed McGlinchey to push this guy by, which they want him to do. And he has all this space and opportunity to make these great throws. He ends up stepping up, and I think he finds Marvin Mims right here, which is a huge play within the game. I think it leads to another touchdown, 3rd and 8. Marvin does a great job running the scramble drill. Russ finds him. Offensive line does a great job in protection. And I think these plays are just getting better and better.
Man, look at all that space that Russ had in the backfield there.
Yep.
And it also plays so much into McGlinchey's strengths. McGlinchey and Bowles did a great job when the Browns edge rushers wanted to go on the outside.
Yep.
They said, okay, we'll let you go to the outside, and then we'll just push you 10 yards even further.
Exactly.
I mean, there's that one play where Bowles takes Myles Garrett, and takes it from the left side all the way to the other side of the offensive line on the right side.
All the way around the hoop. They're doing a great job. And I think it just makes sense. Like, you push the outside guys wide, and then we have 3-on-2 on the 2 inside guys. Like, we got to be able to hold up these guys with 3-on-2. We got to make it happen.
That's what was happening all last week against the Vikings because they just drop everybody out and so they rush 3. So your tackles kind of have tricky jobs. Then you just have like all 3 interior guys blocking one nose tackle or jumping off to help anywhere else. It's back-to-back weeks that they've protected so well.
Yep, they're doing a great job. All right, this is a great play because now this is making guys have to think, and they can't just play fast anymore. So this is part of the reason why I feel like Myles Garrett didn't have that great of a day because not only was he blocked well, they made him think at times as well. So this is a great play. It's a zone read, and then they're going to have a lead blocker, and then Russ is going to take the ball out the back end. And the great thing about this is they make Myles Garrett have to think. So Myles has Russ right here. This is supposed to be blocked up. Everybody has an inside gap. Myles Garrett's supposed to come and take Russ, but he's thinking that he's not a threat. They're not used to him running.
Yep.
And this keeps them honest and allows them to make Myles have to play slow. So it's a great call by Sean, great zone read. And look at all this space. You got the fullback leading for Russ. Myles Garrett doesn't know what's going on. And, this is not like a super intricate play, but it's a great play call. And I feel like Sean was doing so many great things in the run game, on Sunday that don't get highlighted just because, they think it's just guys executing. But no, this is the actual play that was called that makes guys execute at this high of a level.
And credit to Sean, because one thing that I have not been able to get my mind around when it comes to the betting side of these games is rush running yards.
Yep.
Like, it's set at like always 20 to 25 yards or something, and he hits it like 3 straight games. So I'm like, oh, easy. He's going to get 40 this game, and then he doesn't have a single rushing attempt. But not only does that throw the betting side off, but it throws defenses off.
Sure.
Because Russ, I don't think maybe against the, I don't remember, but there's some games where he doesn't run at all. And then so what Myles Garrett sees on tape for a couple of weeks is, okay, he's going to hand this off every time, hand it off every time, and then he takes it, and he's wide open against an extremely good defensive player in Myles Garrett. But that's why, and I think it's really smart of Sean sometimes to build the game plan of, okay, we really see that Russ can run for 50 yards in this game, and he's going to. But also, if we don't need him to run, let's not put it on tape. Let's confuse defenses a little bit. And that's something, that unpredictability is something that the Broncos really took advantage of last year against the Chiefs when Russ had the exact same play that went for a touchdown. And so I think it's just so smart to keep the defense guessing.
Yeah, and I mean, the way they're game planning all these runs is just crazy. Like, it's so impressive. I think, first, like you said, I think after the game, Sean said that they saw on tape that teams are having success running quarterback runs against the Browns. But then they come out and it's like, okay, first play, it's that toss crack. just crack back on Myles Garrett, take him out of the play. Second play, inside zone behind Quinn Miners, like another one of your just bread and butter. Here, it's like the read option where you put Myles Garrett in conflict. Like, they're just so smart with how they're calling these. It's not just we want to run the ball,
right.
So here we go. It's a handoff over here. It's just so well planned out and schemed.
Speaking of that, that leads me directly to my
Is that
next
what it
play.
is?
So the Broncos all game were having success with Samaje P. Ryan, and both the running backs actually running a trap, which is this offensive guard right here. He pulls and kicks out this D tackle, which means that the linebackers should step up and fill their gaps. Normally, if you have pullers, let me see if I can go back here. If you normally have pullers, that means your gap has moved over a gap, so you need to come over the top. But the unique thing about a trap, because it's all inside, you have to step up to fill your gap. If you go over the top, it's this huge void in here because he's hitting him, he's hitting him, and so there's just this open space in the middle. I don't know if you can see it if it's just scribbling,
yeah.
but there's just going to be a huge void if you don't step up. So the Broncos were doing that early on. So based off of that, the Browns made an adjustment, moved him from out here into a head up. They call it a 2-eye. He's head up on that tackle. So now the Broncos said, okay, we're not going to trap this tackle right here. What we're going to do is we're going to move this trap block all the way out here. Allow these guys to block down, and we'll see what happens. Well, the great thing about it is when you move that block outside, now you do have to come over the top of these blocks again. So it changes your fit as a linebacker. But since they weren't expecting it, they're expecting the same trap, these linebackers shoot straight downhill. Perfect.
Yeah.
We have the tight end to block him. We kick out right here, and there's a gaping hole right here because you guys are trying to adjust to what we've been running. But no, we're not running that anymore. So this is Sean Payton at his finest.
Yeah.
Being able to make one small adjustment, and to people who watch on TV, it looks like the same play, but you don't know it completely changed the way that this thing is blocked up, and it allows for Javonte to have this huge open field of space, and I think it's just play calling at its best. Honestly.
Absolutely.
And that's what Sean Payton's here for,
Yep.
is to be the offensive mastermind that he is. And Todd, this has really just opened my eyes even more to how brilliant Sean is and how much he's helping this offense. And there's no doubt Russ is playing really good football. There's no doubt the offensive line is playing incredible and getting better by the week.
Yep.
But also they're being helped out by great coaching as well.
Absolutely, because I think it makes everybody's job easier, because even the tight end Troutman on this block, all I got to do is put a hand on you. You've messed yourself up because of how my coach called the play. This is an easy kick-out block, easy down blocks. Myles Garrett's not even a factor. They're playing well, but Sean is definitely having a part in their success.
Yep, I love it. Man, the inside scoop is the best. Todd, you break it down incredibly well. And speaking of things that we love, Primo Hoagies.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it is almost 1 p.m. right now. I'm getting hungry. It's probably lunch for me. Primo Hoagies, and you can check out multiple locations in Colorado, in the Denver metro area, over at primohoagies.com. If you want to order a party tray, Broncos playing at 11 a.m., you want some lunch for the crew that you're watching it with, Primo Hoagies is the hookup. So check them out over at primohoagies.com, where they've got awesome their menu's huge too.
Yep.
They'll have something for everyone at your party. So check them out, primohoagies.com. It's not just a hoagie, it's a Primo.
And Spirit Hound. I'm really excited for this 3-game road trip, because it means we just hang out at the bar. And, you still got to be locked in and do all those sorts of things. But there are no real responsibilities like there are when you're sitting in a press box with a bunch of adults. So if you want to have 2 beers, 3 beers, or in this case, maybe some whiskey, some gin, some vodka, all from Spirit Hound, maybe 11 a.m. is a little bit early, but honestly, maybe not at this point. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to be here at the bar these next few weeks and drinking some awesome drinks from Spirit Hound. It's all made right here in Lyons, Colorado. They've got the award-winning whiskey, the 2022 Whiskey of the Year in the London Spirits competition. If you want to go up to their tasting room in the Highlands, in Lyons, not in the Highlands, kind of rhymes. You can bring in juniper berries and they'll give you a free drink. So
They've got a tasting room in the Highlands.
That's right. Tasting
Yep.
room in the Highlands.
Yep.
They make everything in Lyons. There we go. Easy to
It
remember.
rhymes, right? Did that rhyme?
Technically, no. There's a D
okay.
in there. but it doesn't really matter. You can get their stuff all over. So just go to their website and you can pick up some awesome products from Spirit Hound near you. That reminded me, I think I might also try to get here for the bar or to the bar for Montana plays their first playoff game this weekend. I'm not sure. Who does Sac State play? Do you know? I can't remember.
We already beat North Dakota State.
Yeah, that was
so-
North Dakota.
North Dakota.
Yeah, because CSU or MSU has North Dakota State this week. But yeah,
Whoever it is, it's not gonna
It's the
be-
same thing.
We're gonna
I
win.
know. They're picking like one of these FCS playoff games on Saturday to put on ABC. And I haven't seen which one it is, but I'm pretty excited.
Sacramento
for this weekend.
State's playing South Dakota.
We already
Oh.
beat North Dakota.
Yep,
now
North
we're playing
Dakota-
South Dakota.
Yeah.
I
Just
like
get
the
all
chances.
the Dakotas out of the
We'll
way.
kill it. Yeah. Oh,
That's
we're
gonna be a
going.
fun one. Yeah, so I might be sitting here in the bar Saturday and Sunday if all goes well.
I like it.
It's a good place to be.
It's a really good place to be, especially with Spirit Hound.
Especially with Spirit Hound and especially with the DNVR community. And let's talk to the community right now. I know we got some super chats rolling in. The Mighty Solar Clam says over plus 1,000 odds for Russ comeback player of the year. If he gets hot down the stretch, maybe. He's only got to beat Tua. How say you? Great show, gents. Happy PS Tuesday. Comeback player of the year is going to be so tough with DeMar Hamlin there. Like, he's probably still minus odds, and I don't really think there's anything that DeMar can do to hurt his case now.
I mean, the thing is, he just doesn't play. Like, he's played in like 2 or 3 games this season.
Live.
Alive, though. He is alive.
You did say he played.
I
So
think-
yes,
Hey,
he's
stepped
alive.
on the field.
Last
It's
I
over.
checked, he was like minus 200. Which, if you really feel that way, like maybe you just jump on that. Bet $10, you turn it into $15. But I do think that it might be a little bit more open. Like, he just has barely played.
So right now,
It
DeMar
doesn't
I think it
Hamlin
doesn't matter.
If you
on Bet365, he is minus 225.
minus
Yeah.
225.
Here's what
That's
I
pretty
would
good.
do. If you like those plus 1,000 odds, can you look up MVP odds and see if Russ
No.
is there on the MVP? Because
Oh.
I think you have a better shot. I think I like the value more, is what I should say, at Russ MVP odds, because it's going to be way more than plus 1,000. Just because that's wide open, where the comeback player of the year vote is not wide open.
Then
There's a
take that
clear
225.
front-runner. What?
Then take that
The minus
minus 225.
225?
Yeah.
So, do you guys want to guess what it is?
So it is up there.
It is up.
I'm gonna say Russ. Is he like 20th on the list?
Over under 20,000.
I already looked.
Oh, you already know.
Yeah.
I'd say
Yeah,
over.
Hank sucks.
I'd say I'd say
Under.
over.
Yeah.
It's plus 12,500.
Oh, okay.
125 to 1.
Yeah.
When we talked a couple weeks ago, it was 300 to 1. So he's moving in the right direction.
There we go. Momentum.
And I
Todd, you were
think,
right.
Yeah, and it's crazy because if he goes on a run
Yep.
in the end of the season, and you talk about we make the playoffs, then we go to Miami first playoff game and beat them. I think it's over because I think if we play Miami again, we're gonna win.
Ooh.
For sure. We're going to be so pissed off that we lost by 50 points, and Miami's going to feel like they already put up 70 on us.
Yep.
We're going to find a way to win that game.
I don't disagree. Like I think you might be onto something there. I think that Miami in the first round is first of all, in the NFL playoffs, anybody can win any game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like the NBA where it's like, okay, it's 7 games, the best team's going to come out. It really is just chaos. Like,
Any given Sunday, baby.
exactly. Especially that matchup I kind of like.
Man, that'd be a
Real quick.
Hollywood story.
They would.
If they go into Miami and beat them, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Which I
They
think
don't beat teams with winning records, so by then we'll have a
it's-
winning
it's
record.
true.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Real quick, can you guys guess the odds for Sean Payton Coach of the Year?
That's the one I put money on. I'd say plus 700.
You're going to get juicy odds on this, plus
Oh.
1,600.
Oh,
So
Really?
if
Yeah.
you're Bet365, code DNVR365. Go bet it right now. That is really good odds.
Where is he?
He is
Like fifth?
7th.
Seventh. We
Seventh
might
on that
actually
list.
just break this conversation down tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because that's incredible. Seventh. Man, I love that you hear. Romel says, it is better to be feared than loved.
Yep.
It is safe to say that Broncos are feared. The team no one wants to play right now.
I agree. They've taken down 2 of the biggest dogs in the league, and then they've broken every other team that they played. The Vikings haven't looked the same. Nobody has looked the same. The Chiefs haven't looked the same since they played them. Like, you don't want to play the Broncos right now.
And I mean, on top of that, they just knocked a quarterback out and knocked out a superstar receiver.
Yep.
And I think that's one more reason why teams don't really want to play the Broncos right now is because you don't know what you're going to be looking like the week after.
Man, physicality. That's what it does.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Preston says, copped a PS2 shirt. Thanks for the deals, y'all. Keep up the good work. So glad you got your hands on that, Preston. Thanks for supporting us. We really appreciate it. Is that it you hear on Super Chats? All right, we got one comment coming on the website from Arvado Luke. Says, how do you think, how long until you think the narrative changes to Hackett was such a bad coach? It took Sean Payton 6 games to undo his mess. I'm, of course, kidding. Worrying about narratives is for the haters. Personally, I'm too busy yelling, let's ride. I think this year's games can be flexed to Monday Night Football. Do you think the Broncos will be a beneficiary of that? Would it be beneficial if it shortens their week at any point? Cheers, Arvado Luke. You are correct that games can be flexed to Sunday Night Football, but now they can be flexed to Monday Night Football. And the Broncos don't have any more primetime games. So, and they also didn't max out their number of primetime games, so they could be flexed in. Henry, are there any games that jump out to you that could be flexed?
So let's see. Can't flex this week regardless. I pulled up Sunday Night Football first. Next week is probably too late, but you're not flexing Eagles and Cowboys. After that, Baltimore and Jacksonville, that's going to stay in Sunday Night Football. After that, Bengals and Steelers, that's probably staying in.
Maybe. Burrowless Bengals?
But, I mean, the Steelers. I looked through the power rankings, like, across the league. Like, there was one I found that had the Steelers 10. That was the lowest. Like, the Steelers are right up there. The Bengals are in the hunt. Like, I don't think that's getting flexed out.
You
don't think so?
No.
The Rams this week?
So, wait, what week is that?
It's week 16.
Week 16. Well, that one's not getting flexed for the Broncos because they actually do have one more primetime game. Kind of.
Oh.
Christmas Eve. That's the
Yes,
Broncos'
these are the
Christmas
Saturday
Eve
games.
game. And that's the Patriots, which is hopefully going to be a terrible game.
They haven't picked a week 17 game, right? They pick one the week of?
Week 18 game.
Week 18, that's right. 17 games, week 18. But they won't flex Packers, Vikings out of week 17, you wouldn't think. That should do numbers because both those teams are going to be in it.
I don't know if they're going to be in it.
I mean, who else will be in the NFC? I mean, the Vikings going into last night were in a playoff spot. The Packers were the first team out.
The Vikings still are in a playoff spot.
Yeah, they would be because that just got them to 500.
And they might.
So Packers are still first team out.
Quarterback.
I mean, maybe there's a conversation, but I think typically you need a team or a game that's bad to like get it flexed out. You know, not one where it's like, I mean, playoff implications, but not great teams.
So week 17, Broncos, Chargers. The Chargers aren't competitive right now. They're 4-7, which is just wild. And potentially week 18, Raiders, Broncos. But week 15 is one to keep your eyes on. That's Broncos playing the Lions in Detroit. That game has not been decided of when it's going to be played. That could be a primetime Saturday night game. So keep your Saturdays open. I believe that's December 16th. Keep that day open because I think Broncos could be playing primetime then.
Yeah. Week 14 is a doubleheader for Monday Night Football. Packers, Giants. That one might not do
You
numbers.
probably love that game.
I
You're
mean,
like, Packers are in it. Giants have Tommy DeVito.
I mean, they'll do big numbers because the Packers and the Giants, but it's not great football wise. And the other one's Tennessee and Miami.
Awful.
But you probably don't take Miami out of prime
Don't the
time.
Broncos also play New Year's Eve, right?
Yep.
Broncos do play New Year's Eve. Yep.
So
that
they
is
kind of have like 2 primetimes game left.
well, New Year's Eve is that's just an afternoon game. That's a Sunday afternoon game.
Rest of these won't get flexed. Like
Yep.
Patriots and Chiefs, they're not taking the Chiefs out of prime time. Especially with Belichick falling apart. There's just too many storylines.
Oh, that's such an awful, awful game.
You think so? I mean,
The 2-9 Patriots playing the Chiefs?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the
That's
Chiefs.
a terrible
but
game.
It's the Chiefs going into New England on Monday Night Football. Like Belichick's team's falling apart. Like Belichick can put together a game plan and beat. Like that's going to be a grimy game, but I don't think it's a guarantee.
So Todd, you know how for our pick of the week we like to give bets that we really like.
Oh boy.
Yesterday, you got to tell us which bet you like more. Packers playing the Chiefs this Sunday night
Mm-hmm.
in Green Bay. Henry's taking the Packers to win straight up. I'm taking the Chiefs -6.5.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's crazy. He thinks I'm crazy.
I think it's
who's less
definitely crazy to take the Packers.
Thank you.
At
Thank
Lambeau on
you.
Sunday Night
Yes,
Football.
he's like
Yeah,
convinced of
absolutely.
this.
Oh my goodness. Plus
Absolutely
215, 2-1 odds. Like these Chiefs are not good right now.
They're better than the Packers.
Are they? I mean, the Packers have gotten like a couple decent wins.
No, the Packers are trash.
Like the Broncos
The
beat them.
Raiders beat the Packers a couple of weeks ago.
That is true.
And the Chiefs just destroyed the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, destroy. It was a game for the first
wasn't it
half.
like 31-14, 31-17, I think.
Yeah, but I mean,
31-17.
going
That's
into
kind
the
of destroyed.
Yeah.
was it?
They were down
were the Raiders
14-0, and then they outscored them 31-3 to end the
Mm-hmm.
game.
Definitely, but weren't they up 14-0 at halftime, or was it before halftime they
Doesn't
started
matter.
going?
The
I don't-
game ended 31.
Definitely, but I mean,
17.
like there was a flaw there. Like the Chiefs are not perfect. Like
They're
they
not.
they screwed up early on.
Man, you and I might have to make a little side bet for that game.
Okay.
It's Sunday Night Football, too, so everyone will be watching.
Oh, yeah.
Have
I
there
like
been
it.
any pizza bets this year?
I don't know.
No.
I don't think so.
So you guys gotta make one or
Gotta
two
get some
at
pizza
least.
bets going. Maybe we do. That one's something more show-centered. Show-centric.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. We'll figure
Yeah,
it
we
out.
will.
And thank you all so much for rolling with us today. The Inside Scoop was awesome. Having Pat Surtain on was awesome. And we'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. to continue to really get into the weeds of this Houston Texans game. We got Baldy on tomorrow as well, so stay tuned. 11 a.m. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Have a great PS Tuesday.
We all silly like the mayor.